with happiness and joy in my voice. We Push Back is no more.
I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
It's over.
Dominic Crea that creates We Push Back, okay, where he threatens people's families.
All I have to do is say, okay, cite me a source of where that took place. Give me a mark on one of my podcasts where I said what you're claiming I said. Show me a screenshot of my alleged comment where I threatened somebody.
Okay, he threatens people's families where We Push Back, and he has trolls that threaten them, and he threatens their children and anyone that they have contact with.
I have never once privately, publicly, in any way, on any format, not in IG, not in text, not in social media, never once asked anyone to do anything for me on any level. Never once. Okay? That's a fact. And I, like I said, I could say it. That's great. One day, maybe I'll have to prove it, and I'll be glad to do that as well. So they can make all these accusations and say, oh, he's telling this one to do that. That's great. That all fits your narrative. I get it. It's of no concern of mine, because when the day comes where it's relevant and it actually means something and I have to prove it, I'll gladly do so. I'll gladly do so. This way, I created We Push Back. Those who were against it actually created like an opposing movement with a similar name, might I add. Whereas and that's the result. They created the opposing movement because they didn't like what their informant friends were being subjected to. They only liked it being one-sided, where these informants were allowed to go on their podcast, ridicule family members, ridicule defendants, tell up lies. That was acceptable. But the second there was a little pushback to that narrative, that's where now this movement came into place. And the funny part is they try to paint it under the guise of like an anti-bullying movement. I think that's their goal. Meanwhile, all anybody has to do is play the members' content of that movement. That's it. Don't do anything else. Just go play the members' content, and then you tell me they're anti-bullying. It's crazy. But listen, that's none of my business. Let them go nuts with that movement. I just found it funny because one thing I did notice is how sensitive these informants are, folks. When you think about it, they're very sensitive people. Just from based on what I'm doing, I had some clown go on his podcast and threaten me. I had that John Aletto clown talking tough. I had that Jimmy Calandra clown. He was talking tough and threatening me. This We Push Back is basically just saying, well, wait a minute, folks. They're saying one thing and doing another. So we're going to bring attention to their actual behavior, the actual lies they tell. Again, whether you agree with informing or you don't, you agree with cooperating or you don't, irrelevant. At the very least, the basis, the core, if somebody is going to be an informant, they should be required to tell the truth. They shouldn't be allowed to break the law. They shouldn't be allowed to do what they're doing online, harassing people, what's going on now, abusing people, insulting family members, telling lies about people. Those things should not be allowed, and that is what We Push Back is about. It's bringing the spotlight around their behavior, around their true persona, not the fake one they want you to believe in the courtroom, about what they do if somebody disagrees with them. Somebody like myself, somebody like any of the content creators, Angel Gotti, Kane Shades, Mob Rats Exposed, Mobland, all different Rats Inc., Mob Rats 1, all different content creators who maybe put out material that says, hey, you know what? The things these guys are telling us and saying to us are lies. The personality that they're trying to portray is a lie. The character that they're trying to portray is a lie. That's what it's about. It's about exposing that. Now, some may use colorful language when they do it, but the theme behind all people that support We Push Back, behind the entire concept of We Push Back, is basically informants lying to avoid accountability and to shift the blame to somebody else who may be a bigger government target so that they could get off scot-free, continue to break the law, continue to tell lies, continue to deceive people, continue to blast families online, continue to harass families online, continue to tell stories about people online that are lies, that are not truth. That's unacceptable. And that's always been my goal, is bringing attention to that, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I find it entertaining. I like the different styles. We're not all robots. So you may come to my channel and you see one approach where it's more streamlined. You may go to another channel and you may see a more approach that's more vocal. For me, that's what makes YouTube engaging and interesting. All different people, all different lifestyles, all different approaches. That's what keeps it interesting. Now, after the change up of We Push Back, where there's no longer members, it has nothing to do with members, it's just about the information on the site, it was also a good opportunity for myself to really see who believed in it and who didn't. I've seen a lot of people who maybe prior, when they were part of it, talking about We Push Back, promoting it, following through on their beliefs by exhibiting behavior that falls in line with said beliefs. And then once I changed things around, a lot of that died for a lot of people. And I get it. Listen, I get it. People aren't always going to be as passionate as I am about certain things, and rightfully so. I'm in a different position. I have something else driving me that others don't. So my passion is always pretty much at the same intensity level. And I recognize that others just may not feel that way. They may agree with the philosophy, but that's really not what their focus is. So I think by switching things around, it was the right move in many different facets. In my case with Justice Tech Pros, on the We Push Back arm, the obstacles I focus on is the lying informants and their impact on families, defendants, cases, things of that nature. So when We Push Back is hashtagged, people will see all relevant information and they'll understand what the message is. And then if there's related channels, they could kind of join into that by hashtagging We Push Back. It just opens up the reach that a creator has. When you start implementing those hashtags, it opens up the reach. You'll get listeners who may not be aware of your channel, but may have come across the hashtag. So that's the concept behind it.
Let me tell you something about JTP. JTP is a man of integrity. His words, his bond. If you say something to him in confidence, he don't break that. That's someone everybody should look up to on here, honestly. A family man, a good father, a good husband, the whole nine. And his words, his bond. He's a good man. I'm very happy that I met him. And I'm the biggest We Push Back supporter around. I was one of the first members of We Push Back. I was one of the first members. Proud to say that. And I'm the biggest supporter. That's why make sure you guys please go check out the website, wepushback.com, if somebody can drop that in here. And like I said, JTP, he is a good dude, trust me. He's a man's man. His family raised him right, and he's raising his family right.
We Push Back is no more. It's over.
So We Push Back is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
They're here.